Thanks for clicking on the video. Thanks for liking. Thanks for sharing. Thanks for subscribing. My subscriber count has gone up a little bit. The views have gone up. I'm seeing some shares. I'm seeing some more likes. I wanted to say thank you all. I appreciate everybody who's clicking on the videos, everybody who's sharing. It really does mean a lot to me. Now, for the topic of discussion for today, there is no comparison. There is no comparison. When you're scrolling through social media, when you are admiring or observing people who are doing better in life than you, when you see someone who has a significant other that is more attractive than yours, when you see someone with better grades on their report card, when you see someone with nicer clothes, you see someone with more money in their bank account, when you just see yourself as less than, right? Oftentimes, when we look at others who seem to be more fortunate than ourselves, we start to draw comparisons. That's never good. It's never good to compare yourself to anyone. I'm not saying underestimate or even overestimate who you are or who someone else may be. No. What I'm saying is who you are is who you are. Who they are is who they are. There is no comparison. There is no comparison. I'll expound upon that. That's why we do these daily discussions, so I can discuss things. And yeah, I don't know if y'all forgot, but you can also discuss down there in the comments section. I want to hear from you, but if you don't feel the need to challenge me or question me, you know what I mean? You can go ahead and be in my echo chamber and agree with everything I say. That's not what I want, but if that's what I get, then hey, whatever. I'm not always right, so don't assume I am. Don't compare me to someone who is never wrong. I don't know who that would be, but there is no comparison. I would hate to always be right. That would be a miserable life. Because you can just anticipate the nonsense that's coming your way. You can read when someone's not genuine. You know what I mean? Before I skate off on a tangent, I want to get back to the topic. There is no comparison. You will be doing yourself a disservice if you were to compare yourself with your ex-girlfriend's new significant other. You would be thinking, what's he got that I don't got? Alright, he taller than me. He ain't sexier than me. There is no comparison. What if she chose that guy because he's exactly what you are not? She had that experience with your type or who you are, and she wants something different. You didn't do it for her. There is no comparison. Now, I know a lot of times, most people, I've seen it myself, most people, they have a preference, they have a type, and they want to stick with that. They want to always have something that looks similar, or, you know what I mean? I could be a little guilty of that myself. You know, I have a preference, but my preference is not up for discussion. You know what I mean? I like all women. Do I really? I like all women that appeal to me. There you go. That's unfalsifiable. I like all women that appeal to me. And that is another discussion. Probably not for this channel. So look, right? The reason why there's no comparison because you weren't designed to be the best version of Michael Jordan. You weren't designed to be the best version of Drake. You weren't designed to be the best version of Ronald Reagan. You weren't designed to be the best version of Dog the Bounty Hunting. They were designed to be the best version of themselves, not you. You were designed to be the best version of whoever you are or whoever you choose to be. You know, whoever you want to build or base your personality or what you want to be. All right. There is no comparison because who you are can't be compared to. If it's a comparison of your best self or your best selves or best versions of yourself, there is no comparison. It is impossible for someone else to be you. They can emulate you, they can imitate you, but they can't exist as the being that you are. You need to remember that because that goes both ways. When you see people you admire or you see things, you know what I mean, that you wish you could do, there's no comparison. You may be able to come close. You may even be better. But that's one aspect, one ability, one attribute, right? When you start looking at how good or lack thereof you are compared to other people, if you're not at the top spot or, you know, in the running, you're going to lose sight of who or what you are. That's a very, very, very big and important thing. Understanding who you are, knowing thyself. When you know yourself, you don't need to compare yourself. There is no, like I said, there is no comparison. Who you are meant to be, who you want to be, is completely and totally defined by you. Nobody else. Not them over there, not the girl behind you, not the guy over there in his window watching what y'all doing. No. It's all on you. It's all on you. Stop comparing yourself to what you'll never be. What you are is better than what they are in a different category, a different venue. You might want to be a football player, but you really are an amazing teacher or even coach. You see your teammates struggling, you see where their weaknesses at, and you can immediately point it out and be like, yo, why don't you try to do it like this? Or why don't you try putting a spin on it? And then immediately they improve. Like, everybody don't have the ability to break things down so it's easier to digest or easier to understand and comprehend. Everybody don't have that ability. That's what a teacher does. A teacher takes something that may be complex or so too far advanced that it's too intimidating for you to try to understand, and then they break it up and make it simpler. You know what I mean? They give examples or things that are similar to help you understand it. All right? I was always good at that. I was always good at meeting people where they at, seeing where they may fall short, and I'd be like, you know what, I see exactly what's going on. Yo, check this out, right? If when you do that thing that you just did, try flipping it over and spinning it around and see what you get, right? But I can't really do it for myself because I can't really analyze and look at myself, right? I'm not having an out-of-body experience. You know what I mean? I can only take the experiences that I've been through, the messages and descriptions that people gave me about me, you know what I mean? When we want to talk about any comparison that involves you, it would only be yourself versus yourself, your past self versus your present self, your present self versus your future self, your adult self versus your child self, your good self versus your bad self. That's the only comparison that needs to be had when we're talking about ourselves, right? You don't need to compare yourself to somebody else's work or somebody else's accolades or somebody else's ambitions, right? You may not have a hole in your heart as deep as theirs to fill. You may not have a desire that burns you up every day that you don't get to live in it. It may not be the same for you. That's why I'm saying is no comparison. Your feelings, your emotions, your ideas, your ambitions, your missions, they don't compare to other people's because their path is totally different. What they need to learn may be completely different. That's why there's no comparison. There should never be a comparison. The more you compare, the more you're left feeling negative or less than or inferior. You know what I mean? People don't show you, like, they don't outright show you where they're weak. They don't outright show you what they don't understand, right? People almost always want to put their best foot forward. They want to put themselves out in the best light. But if we really were to actually compare beings, let's compare each other from worst to worst. The worst shit about you to the worst shit about me. And then we'll really get a real good read, you know what I mean, on how shitty everybody is. Right? Human beings have the capacity to be good, but most people don't want to be. You know what I mean? So if you a good person, don't compare yourself to the shitty ass people. And vice versa. If you know you a fuck up, don't compare yourself to people who trying to do the right thing. We all got choices. You know what I mean? We all got choices. We all got a chance. We all got one life and a few chances. Right? When you spend your time comparing yourself with others, right? You don't even got no time to improve on yourself. You trying to improve on what they doing or who they are. All the while you're forsaking your own self, your own integrity, your own ambitions, your own drive, your own goals, your own purpose. Right? So what's the point? What's the point if you want to be a rapper? What's the point in comparing yourself to other people's lyrics? You shouldn't do that. You should just study their lyrics. You should try to understand their lyrics because it may give you a better picture or a better understanding of the art form in and of itself. Right? It's the art form. You know what I mean? Stop comparing. Improve. You know what I'm saying? You should never compare anything that's not in its best form. This isn't even my final form. Why would you want to put yourself up against somebody who's at their maximum potential where you haven't even scratched the surface of yours? Right? Y'all be comparing yourself to these people who've been doing what you only dream of their entire life. Like they basically came out the womb doing it and you want to compete with them. Nah. You gotta make your own lane. You gotta make your own genre, so to speak. You gotta do it to where there is no comparison. And how you do that? You create. You create. When you create, there's no comparison because you are the progenitor. You are the originator. You are where it starts. So look at it like that. Instead of trying to compete, create. Instead of trying to compare, improve. I was trying to think of a C word for improve. Is there a C word for improve? If there is, I can't think of it right now. But yeah, man. Stop all the comparisons. That girl got a fatter ass than you, so what? There's still somebody out there who's gonna find you attractive and probably would be more open and receptive to having you as their woman because your body looks more healthy to them. Like whatever. Right? You might be smart at mechanical engineering, or you might be a rocket scientist. You might be a surgeon general. You know what I'm saying? But you probably can't change a tire. You know what I mean? Like, so there's really no comparison because nobody can be perfect. Nobody can be the best at everything. You got to devote yourself and your time to something. It can't be everything. So where you're great, other people gonna fall short, and where you're weak, other people gonna seem a lot stronger because you seeing it from, you know what I'm saying, a lower perspective. You know what I'm saying? I need to make another video talking about perspectives. Talking about perspectives because yeah, perspectives is really big, especially when you live in a world of delusion. In the kingdom of the blind, the one-eyed man is king. But look, right, I'm ready to wrap it up. It's getting dark out here. The sun is going in earlier and earlier, so I probably won't be able to come out in the afternoon and make videos. I'll probably have to, do that in my car or somewhere near the house. But in conclusion for today's video, don't compare. Don't compare yourself. Create yourself. Develop yourself. Find yourself. Discover yourself. Don't get caught up in comparisons and trying to compete to be the best version of somebody else who they haven't even found yet. Like, they're still working on it. And you trying to beat them at working on them. Like, you can't beat me at being me. You'll never beat Hawk at being Hawk. But you might beat Hawk at being Josh or Chris or Michael or something like that. You know what I mean? But it's not going to happen for you on this way. Maybe on that way, but not on this way. But yeah, you are a designer's original. There is no comparison. Create the self that you want to see. Professor Hawk signing out. Class is dismissed.